Women have been conditioned by society to be, act, and think a certain way. Here at Girls IRL, we encourage women to challenge societal norms and embrace their femininity. With that being said, let's get into this week's episode. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Girls in Real Life podcast. I am your host, Mariah Clayton. Happy Monday. We are already halfway through April, which is literally insane. I feel like time is going by so fast. Speaking of which, my dad's birthday was yesterday on the 16th. So me and my dad are both Aries. Both of our birthdays are in April, obviously. So my dad is a goofball. We are literally like one and the same, and I love him so much. How old did my dad turn? He turned 53 this year, I'm pretty sure. So he's getting up there, but he still acts like he's 12 years old. My dad is literally a child. But anyways, I love him so much. Daddy, if you're listening to this, happy birthday, even though I already called you and told you that. But yeah. Hello. I feel like I don't even know what to say right now. I don't know why I always as soon as I turn the mic on, I'm just like, I draw a blank sometimes. I never know what I'm supposed to be saying. But as usual, I will start with some life updates because I have a few. So my first life update, if you guys follow me on Instagram, then you already know this, but I had my 6-week checkup appointment this past Wednesday. I can't believe I'm already 6 weeks postpartum. Like, it's literally insane. But I was super nervous about it because I knew that she was gonna have to check me, and I was really tense and anxious about it just because I'm still low-key traumatized from everything that happened with my birth and delivery, and I just was not sure how I felt about things going up down there, if you know what I mean. But it actually wasn't bad at all. She was very gentle. She used her fingers and she said everything is good. She gave me the all clear to do all of my regular activities, so I feel like I'm starting to finally get back into some sort of normalcy. I've started working out again just a little bit, just doing body weight stuff at home with bands and things like that, and just trying to get my core back together. But yeah, it feels really nice to be able to get up and move around and get back to doing things that I used to be doing. And like I said, just kind of feel more normal, which I'm happy about because honestly, I did not think that I would ever feel normal ever again. But the fact that my recovery has been going so well and going so smoothly, and I have been feeling normal for about the past 2.5 weeks now, it's made me feel really, really good. So anyways, things are moving along well for your girl, if you wanted to know. I did not forget about my birth and delivery story. I promise me and Justin are going to sit down and do the episode. We just have to find a moment in time where Ace gives us a little break, or we can get somebody to come and watch him so that we can sit down and record and film, because Ace he's been so unpredictable. I feel like we've been trying to get him on a schedule as far as for bedtime. Well, okay, we have him on a schedule for bedtime, but we don't have him on a schedule for throughout the day. And that's probably something that I'm going to work on this week because he's going to be 7 weeks this week. And during the day, I feel like sometimes he takes too long of a nap. And I just want to get him on a sort of routine to where he knows okay, we're going to eat at this time. We're going to go to bed at this time or take a nap at this time. We're going to play at this time. We're going to bathe at this time. And then, go to bed for the night at this time. So that is a project for me this week. But anyways, moving on to the next thing that I wanted to talk about. There's a new app, if you guys didn't know. It's called Lemonade, and it's actually TikTok's sister brand. And it's almost as if Pinterest and Instagram kind of had a baby together. It is literally so much fun. I've been addicted for the past couple of days. I did make an account, and it is just so cute. You get to just post pictures or videos about things that you like, things that you're doing. You can literally post anything, and there's also this kind of graphic effects to it because you can add text and add stickers and do all these cute little overlays and editing, and it's really fun. I know it's oh my gosh, another app that I had to keep up with, but honestly, it's so easy to use, and I don't even think about whatever it is that I'm posting. I'm oh, I found this picture in my camera roll. Like, let me just do a cute little text graphic over this and post it to Lemonade. And I don't know, it's just so fun. It's so easy. There's like no pressure because it's a new app and like nobody's really trying to go viral or like build followers. It's literally just people posting and sharing things that they like and that they're doing. And I don't know, it's kind of refreshing. So if you're into wanting to try out a new app, I would suggest it. It's actually funny because I was supposed to do a brand deal with Lemonade. They had emailed me saying that, you know, like we're launching this new app. We want you to be one of the first creators to do it. Like all you have to do is post 3 posts and we'll pay you. And they were gonna pay me like $400. And I was like, absolutely not. I was reading through the contract. And if y'all listen to the content creating episode that I did with Steven, and he was talking about worldwide rights or worldwide usage, where like they have the rights to your content forever and can use it whenever and however they want. That was in the contract. And I texted Steven and I was like, thank you for telling me about this because I literally would have not had any idea. And they would have been able to just use whatever content that I gave them literally for the rest of my life for $400. And I'm like, absolutely not. So I didn't do it, but I still ended up getting on the app and like making an account. And it's so much fun. So anyways, that's the tea on that. I don't know if you guys really care, but I just wanted to share because that's what I've been doing this whole past week, is just been posting on Lemonade. And also what I've been doing, not even just this past week, but literally since like the episodes first dropped, I've been watching Love is Blind. And I'm actually recording this on Sunday. So literally yesterday they had the live reunion, and it's still early on in the day. It's like 2 o'clock right now, so I'm not gonna get to watch it until later tonight. But I don't know if y'all have been watching Love is Blind, but this season has been so insane, and I'm just ready for all the drama. I'm ready for all the tea. Like there's just so many things that happen that I seriously cannot believe. There's so many things that I've been seeing on like TikTok, and just everybody is waiting to see how this reunion is gonna go. I'm ready to see how Marshall is gonna be with Jackie. I'm ready to see if Jackie's gonna bring Josh. I'm ready to see what Irina has to say about messing with Paul. I want to know if Micah is still pissed at Paul. Like, I need to know everything, and I'm sure I'll talk about it on next week's podcast episode. I'll like debrief you guys. But yeah, I'm like super, super ready for that. I used to always say that like, oh, I don't like reality TV, like it's trash TV. But as of late, for like the past 3 years probably, I have been obsessed with just like reality TV because it's something that I can just throw on and not have to worry about anything, not have to think about anything. Like it can just be something on in the background. I don't necessarily have to like pay attention to know what's really going on. So I don't know, it's just been something that I've been liking lately. And I know that there's so many good reality TV shows that I've missed on throughout my life. Like I don't watch Real Housewives, I don't watch like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, like, and all of these shows are people, I mean all of these shows are people, all of these shows are things that people have been trying to get me to watch, and I just was be like, no, like that's so stupid. But maybe I'll actually go back and like rewatch some of the series or episodes if I get too bored, or because me and Ace have literally watched like pretty much everything on TV at this point. So I might have to subject myself to watching like old seasons of old shows that I missed out on when I was in my reality TV rebellion era. Okay, anyways, enough of that. I've been rambling enough about nonsense. Today's episode, we are going to be talking about dating yourself, how you don't need a man or a relationship or anyone in order to have a good time. And this is something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and it's something that I truly, truly believe in. I definitely think that dating yourself is extremely important, and there's a lot of benefits to it. And it's just a way for you to get to know yourself better, become more comfortable with yourself, confident, independent. Like there's so many great things that come with dating yourself. And again, like I said, I think it's important that we pour the same energy that we pour into other people into ourselves, because when we're getting ready for like a date night with a guy or whoever, you know, we're taking time to do our hair, do our makeup, pick out a cute outfit, put on a nice little scent, like, you know, make a good first impression, and we're putting all this effort into like trying to impress somebody else, and we never put that same effort into just like doing things by ourselves. So that's what today's episode is all about. We're going to be talking about like, what does dating yourself mean? Why is it important? How can you do it? all the things. So let's just go ahead and dive right in before I get sidetracked about anything else. So of course, as I do for pretty much a lot of my episodes, is I will get on Google and just kind of like Google the topic that I want to talk about, see if there are any articles, any definitions that I want to share, any other people's insight that I kind of resonate with, and be like, ooh, I need to tell my girlies that. So anyways, I ended up Googling dating yourself, and this little definition came up. So I'm just gonna read it and then we'll go from there. So it says dating yourself means that you are dedicating your time, money, and energy into taking care of yourself, connecting with your inner self, and building a healthy relationship with yourself. I feel like that was a mouthful, but let's just start with the first line of the definition. It says it means that you're dedicating your time, money, and energy to taking care of yourself. Time, money, energy. Those are like three very big things that all kind of go hand in hand. Starting with time, we dedicate so much of our time to everything and everyone else, to our jobs, to our boyfriends if we have one, to our friendships, to our families, to like whoever. And I feel like ourselves always take the back burner, at least in my life. I'm not even gonna talk about you, I'm gonna talk about me. Like, I feel like I'm so busy and consumed with other things throughout the day that there are some times where I neglect having time for myself, whether that be like me going to take an hour long bath, whether that be me going to like take myself on a walk or take myself shopping or whatever the case may be. There are some days where like I literally feel like I did not have time to myself that day. And those are the days where I feel the most overwhelmed and anxious and honestly just like empty because I've given everything that I had away and I didn't take the time to refill my own cup and refuel myself. So spending time with yourself is like super, super important, and making sure that you're not, just giving yourself away to everyone else surrounding you, but that you're also at the end of the day giving some time back to yourself so you can regroup, refocus, and just like feel re-energized. Money. Okay, we know that we be spending money on everything and everyone else but ourselves. And this is something that I was really, really bad at a while ago. I would always be trying to save up my money for different occasions or for like something that had nothing to do with me, whether it be like birthday presents for my family or Christmas gifts or having to like fix something on my car, like, always trying to make sure that I had money set aside to do things for other people or to do things for like an emergency type situation, which you should, like that's something that we should be doing. But also, like, I used to be so scared to just like spend money on myself. But one day I just kind of like had this realization where it's like, I'm the one like making this money. This is my money and I should be able to spend it on myself and not feel guilty, because I would be spending hundreds of dollars on other people for like Christmas presents, especially like my sister and my parents and my siblings, and making sure like they got everything that they wanted, whether it was like $100 shirt or like a $60 makeup product, and I would always feel guilty about like wanting to spend that money on myself or spend that money on myself, and I would never do it. Like, you would not catch me spending more than $25 on a shirt for myself, but I would be spending like $70 on a shirt for my sister. And it just got to a point where I had to realize like I can and I should spend money on myself, and I don't have to be in a space where like I have to sacrifice my own wants and needs for someone else. And like I said, I was in that mindset for a very long time, and it wasn't until maybe like 4 years ago or so that I realized I'm like, I need to be doing stuff for myself. I need to take myself out to dinner. I need to have a shopping spree for myself. Like, it's okay for me to spend my own hard-earned money on myself and not have to feel like I need to save it for a special occasion or for somebody else, because I can spend some money. And I love spending money on people that I love and people that I care about and people that I have relationships with. But you have to like draw a line and set a boundary, because I know for myself, like, I can definitely get carried away. Like, if I'm out trying to buy stuff for Justin, I will be just like picking stuff out, swiping my card, and before I know it, I've spent like $600. And I'm like, whoa. Like I want him to feel special, but like, dang, like you need to be able to have some sort of discipline, especially when it comes to your money and your finances, but also know that like you don't have to just spend all of your money on other people to make them feel good. You can spend money on yourself to make you feel good too. The last thing the definition mentioned was energy, dedicating your energy to taking care of yourself. Self-care. I am probably the biggest advocate for self-care. I think self-care is so important. And this kind of goes back to the time aspect, like spending time with yourself and having little blocks or breaks of time where you're able to just like be with yourself. But also in those blocks of time, like what are you doing? How are you taking care of yourself? Are you eating? That was one thing that I used to be so bad at, was like I would go throughout a whole day and literally not eat anything and feel super depleted, have no energy at the end of the day. So making sure like you're eating, maybe taking yourself to go and get your nails done or your hair done. Whatever self-care looks like to you, like that is how you should be spending those little blocks of time that you have to yourself doing in a day. Because once your energy run out, like that's just it. Like when my energy is gone, I'm not doing nothing. I can't do nothing. I just want to lay down and go to sleep and like try again the next day. So again, like I said earlier, like taking the time to really build yourself back up, do something of self-care to make sure that like you're good internally and with yourself so that you can then be good to your relationships and to people around you. And we're doing all of this, spending our time, our money, and our energy on ourselves in order to connect with our inner selves, learn ourselves more, build a healthier relationship with our own individual beings. Now, this is not to say you should only spend your time, money, and energy on yourself, but I feel like I have to emphasize this so much because especially as women, we just naturally don't. Like we're naturally givers and nurturers and want to make sure everybody else is good and want to make sure everybody else is taken care of. And like we do not take care of ourselves. We do not spend time with ourselves. We don't even know who we are because we're constantly giving ourselves away to our marriage or our relationship, to our families, to our children, like whatever the case may be, whatever that looks like for you. Sometimes you have to be able to step away and be like, I'm going to spend some time with myself today. Like I'm going to go and I'm going to date myself and I'm going to enjoy my own company and I'm going to feel good about that. And I know that there are some people who literally cringe at the thought of spending time with themselves because it makes them feel uncomfortable. They're not like super confident with themselves. They're not a social person. They feel weird if they don't have anyone with them. I know that there are people out there who feel like, I could never take myself to the movies. I could never go sit in a restaurant and eat by myself. I could never take a trip by myself. But I'm telling you, it is literally the most freeing feeling that like I can't even describe to you. Like you just feel like you can do anything that you want because you can. Because you're with your own company. You don't have anyone else to answer to. You don't have to check in with anybody. Like you can literally just be with yourself. Before I was in a relationship, I took dating myself very, very seriously. I would go to movies by myself. I would take myself out to dinner. I would go and take trips by myself. I would literally do so many things by myself. And I loved it because I just loved enjoying like my own company and being able to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, however I wanted. And I didn't have to hear about somebody complaining. I didn't have to compromise. I didn't have to check in and be like, do you want to do this today? Like, like you're able to just be yourself with yourself, and it is like the best feeling in the world. And now that I am in a relationship, I feel like I've definitely slowed down a lot on like taking myself out and doing things for myself and just kind of being independent, especially in this new season of my life where like I'm a mom. I feel like I'm just like chained to the couch, chained to this house, and chained to my pump. But even if you are in a relationship, like it is very beneficial for you to be able to date yourself and just, have these little moments of time where you're spending time with yourself. So now that you guys know that I'm like super passionate about this topic and I think it's extremely important, now we're going to talk about why it's important and kind of the benefits of being able to take yourself out and be with yourself. So the first thing I have written down is that you understand yourself better. There's a saying that goes, nobody knows you better than you. But I I feel like that's only true for people who actually spend time with themselves, because if you're never alone with yourself, if you're never alone with your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions, like how are you going to know yourself better? Like how do you expect somebody to understand all of those things about you if you cannot understand them about yourself? If you never take the time to like just sit and be with yourself and understand who you truly are inside and out. You can't. So being able to date yourself is important because you're able to do the work that it takes in order to understand yourself on a completely different level. There's nothing more powerful than like being able to write out your emotions in a journal, or being able to process through your feelings, or being able to just like talk out loud to yourself. There's so many times where I've been in my room and I've just been like talking out loud and having conversations with myself and kind of just like processing things that I've gone through. And it has helped me so much just kind of understand who I am, what I like, what my wants are, what my desires are, my strengths, my weaknesses, all of it. So being able to date yourself, like you really do have to sit down and kind of dissect who you are as a person. Because like I said, if you don't understand yourself, then there's no way that you can that other people are going to be able to understand you on that level. There's been so many moments where I've been like writing in my journal and I don't even know what like I know what I'm writing, but like I will finish writing and I read over it and I'm like, wow, like I just have such a revelation about like whatever it is I was writing about, whether it was a situation that I endured that day, whether it was just me jotting down like random feelings. Like my brain just kind of like goes and I just write however much I can, and then I just stop and I reread it and I'm like, wow, like just kind of having an aha moment about myself or about something that happened, and it's like, oh, this is good. Like this is another layer to myself. This is something that I've just like discovered and unveiled about who I am as a person. And it's cool and it's exciting. And it's something that we need to be doing a lot more often. Like I have not written in my journal in probably almost a year now. It's been almost a year since I've written in my journal, and I definitely want to get back to it because I'll read through my journal sometimes and just kind of like being able to relive moments and relive feelings and uh, kind of just see where my head was at that time and how much like I've grown. It's really interesting to see. I like to call my journal a tangible piece of growth because, like I said, you're able to just kind of like relive those moments and see how much you've grown from one season into another. So, anyways, that's that. You understand yourself better. The next thing about why dating yourself is important is you're able to live independently outside of someone else. I think a lot of the reasons why us women crave to be in relationships and constantly like surrounded by other people is because historically we have been taught to be dependent creatures. We have been taught to lean on a man to provide for us. We have been taught that women, play these specific roles in society and we cannot step outside of that box or step over that line. And when you are able to date yourself and you're spending time with yourself and you're providing for yourself, you develop this sense of independence that is just like bad bitch energy unlocked. Like it is something that I cannot even explain. Having the confidence in knowing that you can provide for yourself, you can take yourself out to dinner, you can cook for yourself, you can pay your own bills, you can buy your own apartment, you can travel on your own, you can do whatever it is that you want to do, quite honestly. Like just knowing that you have that sense of independence, like that no one can take away from you, is probably the one single reason alone to just date yourself and, develop that sense of independence. Because where things start to get unhealthy and toxic is when, you're in a relationship or you're surrounded by people and friendships that don't allow you to be your full self. They don't allow you to be independent. They don't allow you to kind of like have control over your own life. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't like feeling like I don't have control over my own life. I want to make sure that like I'm making decisions that benefit myself and I don't have to think about someone else. I want to make sure that the things I'm doing and the decisions that I'm making are for me and only me. And I don't have to depend on someone else making these choices choices and decisions for me. Like, there is nothing more beautiful, more powerful, more empowering than an independent woman. And it feels good knowing that you can do these things for yourself and you can do things by yourself. And the last thing that you want to do is like be in a relationship where you feel like you can't leave, or you feel like you're stuck because you're so codependent on this person for survival and for life that like you're never able to break away from them, or you're never able to like develop into your own person, because this other person that you've been with has constantly been providing for you, making decisions for you, and holding you back in a way. And now, because you feel this sense of security and safety with this person, now you're too scared to become this independent version of yourself. And you don't ever want to be in that situation. Knowing that you are able to independently live outside of someone else, like that is the sense of security that you need, because you know, like, oh, if this relationship fails, if this person doesn't show up for me, if this person is not here at the time, like I know that I can take care of myself when push comes to shove. I don't have to rely on whoever to show up and be my knight in shining armor. You know, I can be that for myself. Cute Cheetah Girls, Cinderella. I don't wanna be like Cinderella, sitting in a dark, cold, dusty cellar, waiting for somebody to come and set me free. We're not waiting on nobody to come and set us free, okay? We can rescue ourselves, like the queens say. Okay, next reason why it's important to date yourself: it helps prepare you for future relationships. So again, like I said, if you are being able to take the time to understand yourself and kind of grow this deep relationship with who you are as a person, you're able to like spend your time, money, and energy on yourself and doing things that you like to do, and just exposing yourself to all of these new and different life experiences. When it comes to a man stepping to you, you know what you're going to accept and what you're not going to accept. You're going to know what you want and what you don't want. You're going to know how you want this person to make you feel, the things that like you want to do with them, the type of person that could fit into your lifestyle, because you are so connected with who you are as a person. Like if somebody comes in and they're throwing off the aura, you know, you're having to make too many sacrifices from doing things that you like to do. They're trying to control you and take away that independence from you. Like, you know, okay, this person is not for me. I don't even need to explore this relationship. So being able to have a better sense of who you are as yourself and spending time with yourself is then going to make you have much better discernment when it comes to like picking partners and picking friendships, picking jobs, you know, like picking people who you want to work with, because you know yourself to a T. I know a lot of times when it comes to dating, people say, you know, date around, figure out what you like and what you don't like in a person. You know, now is the time to go out on dates with as many people as you can. And I don't necessarily think that that is a bad thing. I do think that that is a part in helping you pick healthy relationships like for your future, but nothing beats like being able to date yourself and spend time with yourself. And instead of like, again, putting all that energy into all of these dates that are just going to crash and burn at the end of the day, to swiping right and left on Tinder all night, you know, like you could be spending that time and energy developing yourself and understanding yourself. And that, I think, is what at the end of the day is going to help you the most in having those future relationships be like strong and solid and healthy, because again, like, you know who you are. So on the one hand, I do see and understand, like, yeah, go on as many dates as you can with as many people as you can, but like also that's so emotionally and mentally and physically draining, and that's energy and time that you could be, again, like putting into yourself. So I think you definitely have to like find a healthy balance when it comes to doing that. But yeah, that's just my little 2 cents that nobody really asked for. The next reason I have written down is you become confident and comfortable with yourself. I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier about how I know that there are people out there who are not super comfortable with themselves. They're not confident in going out and just like being by themselves. Like, it causes a lot of anxiety for some people. Some people are scared. Some people are nervous. It makes them feel anxious. It makes them feel weird. You know, like there's so many emotions and feelings that come with, you know, doing things by yourself. But the thing is, like, you're never going to feel comfortable or confident enough to do it until you just do it. Yeah, it might be scary at first. Yeah, it might feel feel a little weird. You might think people are staring at you. You might think people view you as a loser if you're out somewhere by yourself. But I promise you, like, nobody is really checking for you like that. And it's all in your head and it's all these irrational thoughts that you have. And once you're able to just kind of do it the first time and step over the hurdle of going out by yourself and taking yourself out somewhere, you're gonna want to do it over and over again because of how good it felt. And I promise you, there's nothing better than, like, say you're going to a restaurant. I take myself out to eat, or I used to take myself out to eat quite often. I could sit at the bar, or I would go like sit at a table by myself, order whatever I want, however many appetizers I want. I would get like 3 different appetizers, order yourself a little drink, bring a book, bring some headphones, just scroll on your phone, like whatever. And there's nothing better than like that time that is spent just sitting there, stuffing your face, doing whatever it is that you want to do, however you want to spend that time. Like, it is just, it's so nice. I remember taking myself out to eat at Cheddar's when I was in Dallas visiting my aunt. My aunt was still, like, she was out of town, but she was coming into town because we were going to the Justin Bieber concert together, but I had got there before her. So, of course, like, I took myself out to dinner. So I go out to Cheddar's. I'm sitting at the bar. I order this large-ass margarita and the little croissant rolls. If y'all have ever been to Cheddar's, then y'all know the little croissant bread is so good. Ordered some spinach dip. Ordered just a whole bunch of stuff. I'm sitting at the bar. I'm talking with the bartender. I'm talking with the people on side of me. Like, I'm just having a good old time. And even if you're like not a social person, going out and doing stuff like that, like, it forces you, it doesn't kind of force you to be a social person, but low key it kind of does. And you find yourself like wanting to start conversations with the people next to you, or just kind of be like, hey, how are you? You know, you're able to just, like, I don't know, like, create new friendships or acquaintances, or just have fun little moments. Flirt with the bartender if you want. Like, I don't I don't care what you do, but taking yourself out, it gives you the opportunity to become more social, open yourselves up to different types of people, have conversations with people who you probably never would have had a conversation with if you were there with a friend or somebody else. You know, it's just a different experience. Traveling with yourself, oh my gosh, traveling with myself was literally like the best. Whether I was traveling for a volleyball tournament, traveling out of state for like modeling, like I went to New York 4 times by myself, and it was just so much fun being able to wake up and be like, okay, Mariah, like, what do you want to do today? I want to go walk around Central Park. So I'm going like walking around Central Park for like however long I want to. I could just walk randomly around and I see a restaurant. I'm like, oh, I want to go sit in there and like see what kind of food that they have. Like, it's just so fun and so freeing when you're able to go out and just do things by yourself. And when I was doing things by myself, that was when I was able to experience the most fun. I was able to just get the most out of life because I'm making my own decisions and I'm doing whatever I feel like doing in that moment. Again, like, you don't have to check in with someone else and be like, oh, do you want to eat at this restaurant? And then have them be like, no, I don't like this menu, but you really wanted to eat at that restaurant, and they just blow in the vibe, you know? Like, it's just so nice to be able to do whatever it is that you want to do. Travel, go to the movies, walk around the park, take a road trip. Like, there's nothing better. And I know those who are like nervous and scared or have never done it before, you're probably like, what? That sounds legit crazy. But it's so much fun. And I know that there are people who are like, but someone could kidnap you and it's so scary. Like, that could happen whether you with somebody or not. Let's just be honest. Yeah, it is more scary for us women to like go out and do things by ourselves. I'm not gonna say that it's not, but I'm the type of person, I'm not gonna let the fears of the world like dictate and run my life. If I want to do something, I'm gonna go do it, and I'm not gonna be concerned about all the bad things that could happen, because bad things could happen literally anywhere at any time. But yeah, I kind of just went on a tangent there, but dating yourself and spending time with yourself is going to allow you to become more confident and comfortable doing it. And I promise you, it's something that you're going to want to continue to keep doing, because it fuels you in a way that, like I said, I can't even really explain. If you know, you know. If you've done it, then I know you're probably nodding your head in the car like, yeah, you right. And if you don't know, then this is me challenging you. I'm going to challenge y'all this week, okay? If you have never taken yourself out on a date, I am challenging you to do that this week. It could be going to sit in the park with a book and a blanket. It could be taking yourself out to dinner, taking yourself to a movie. I don't care what it is. Whatever it is, I want you to take yourself out on a date publicly. Go somewhere out in public by yourself and just see what happens. Just see how you feel after the fact. You might love it. You might hate it. I don't know, but you'll never know until you try. So that is your homework for this week, is to go on a date with yourself. Okay, anyways, moving on. I probably should have saved that challenge for the end of the episode, but it's my show. I can do whatever I want. Okay, the next reason why it's important to date yourself is because it's fun. I keep trying to tell y'all, like, it is so much fun just being able to do whatever you want, not having to answer to anyone else. Like, it is just the best feeling in the world. And if you don't think spending time with yourself is fun and enjoyable, I don't know how you think anybody else is going to feel that way about you. If it's hard for you to spend time with yourself, then it's going to be hard for someone else to spend time with you. And that's just tea. But like I said, I've had so much fun just doing things by myself. I've met different types of people, had different kinds of experiences, and just, like put myself out there. So once you get over that hurdle of it's so scary, it's so intimidating, I could never do that, you realize like, okay, this is actually pretty fun to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want, with whoever I want, if I would choose to. Dating yourself is fun because it's all about doing what makes you happy. It's not about trying to find an activity for the whole family to do. It's not about trying to think about if your boyfriend is going to want to go see this movie or not. Like, it is genuinely just about you and what you like, love, and want to do. You get to be spontaneous and carefree and just literally do whatever you want without having to include other people in your plans or not having to worry about if anybody else is going to be interested in your plans. So those are my top 5 reasons of why it's important to date yourself. So hopefully if you didn't see the reasons why you should, now you do. But now we're just going to talk about ways that you're able to date yourself. And I feel like I've kind of mentioned a lot of them throughout the episodes, but there's so many different ways that you are able to date yourself, get to know yourself, get in tune with yourself, and really if you don't know where to start, the whole starting point is probably picking things that you enjoy doing. So whether you have a hobby or something that you're interested in, that's probably where you should start. If you feel I don't know what I would do on a date with myself, just start by figuring out what your hobbies are, what your interests are, and go from there. Do you like art? You could take yourself to painting with a twist. That would be super fun. And then you could probably meet other people who are interested in art. Take a pottery class. Pottery classes are so fun. They are messy and very difficult if you have nails like me. But pottery is really fun as well. If you like adventures, go, I don't know, rock climbing. Here in Baton Rouge, we have this indoor rock climbing thing that you can go and do that, or go and climb a real mountain if you're brave enough to do that. Go on a hike, go walk a new walking trail that you've never been to before. If you're a foodie like me, take yourself to a restaurant that you've never been to before, or take yourself to your favorite restaurant and order all of the things you want off of the menu. There's so many ways, and there's not one right way to date yourself and spend time with yourself. It's whatever genuinely just makes you happy, fuels your energy, and makes you feel good. And then once you do it and you come back home, write about it in your journal, make a video diary, talk about it out loud, process what it is that you just went through and felt and experienced. And I think that you would be surprised at how much you learn about yourself just from doing those basic things. It's not as hard and scary as you think it is, I promise. It is quite fulfilling and energizing and impactful, and just the best ways. The one thing that I want to leave you guys with and that I want y'all to understand is that your happiness should not depend on your relationship status or who you're spending your time with. Just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that you can't spend time with yourself, and just because you're single doesn't mean that you have to be sad and depressed and miserable about it. At the end of the day, you are with yourself every single day, nonstop. Like it's kind of hard to run away from yourself. So the time that you spend with yourself should be enjoyable. It should be happy. It should be fulfilling. It should be rewarding, and it shouldn't be contingent on the other people around you. You should be able to feel comfortable and confident enough to spend time with yourself, to learn things about yourself, and to just go out into the world and just be. You should not be pouring all of your time into trying to find a romantic partner or trying to find friendships or trying to find a group of people who understand you. Yeah, those are all nice and good things that life has to offer us, and it is a great addition to our lives. But you have to establish that independence and comfortability with yourself in order to like even appreciate all of these other things that life has to offer us. So instead of like spending all this time trying to, impress other people and do things for other people, treat yourself that way. Treat yourself as you would like a romantic partner. Spoil yourself, pay attention to yourself, treat yourself kindly, put in as much effort in going out with yourself as you would in going out with someone else. Do your hair nice, do your makeup beat to the gods, find a cute ass outfit and go strut around. There's no sense in putting all of this energy and effort into trying to impress other people and do things for other people that you literally neglect yourself. You're doing yourself a disservice if you are not able to have that same energy with yourself. Is it scary at first? Yes. Is it intimidating at first? Absolutely. Are people gonna look at you like you're crazy? I don't know, maybe, but like I said, people are really probably not even checking for you like that. It's just all in your mind and in your head. And the sooner you're able to get out of your head and into your actual like body and physical feelings and understand what's real and what's not real, the sooner you'll be able to thoroughly enjoy being with yourself, building that independence, understanding who you are on a deeper level, and enjoying your own company. So yeah, I think that's all that I have to say about the matter. Now, like I said, I'm challenging everybody who is listening to this episode to do something for yourself this week. Take yourself out publicly by yourself and just spend time with you. If you don't have a good time, I give you permission to go off on me in my DMs, okay? But yeah, anyways, I hope you all have a great Monday. I hope you all have a great week. And if you do take yourself out, seriously, like I want to hear all about it, good or bad. So yes, anyways, I love you all. And I will talk to y'all in my next episode. Bye.